Hello, Yulio.
Hi, Nick.
Okay, first thing we need to talk about is this jacket. I need the whole story. I asked you about it for a second, but you gotta let us know. So where'd you get this?
So I was upstate and I thrifted it.
Yeah.
I love thrifting. And when I got home, I had a few Boy Scout badges and things. And it was sitting for a little bit in my closet because I didn't know what to do with it. And then I watched a show on Netflix called Boy Scout.
Mm-hmm.
No, Scouts Honor. It's about how kids used to get abused in the Boy Scout.
Oh,
and I
wow.
was like, that is so sad and deep.
Okay.
And I don't know if I should touch that topic because to me, there's very delicate things to talk about. It, if you don't go through it, to me, it's sort of sensitive.
Quick thing. Bring the mic up really close to your face.
There?
Yeah, you see
oh,
the...
yes.
Yeah,
oh my God, this is incredible.
Yeah. Wait, so... Yeah, people obviously don't know the experience unless you've really gone through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what I've learned, in life and by doing art, is that if whatever you do comes from a place of love and respect, you can go places that in normal life you wouldn't, because that's what art does. So that's when I started adding little things day by day to the jacket.
So were you a Boy Scout or you just had a lot of Boy Scout patches?
I had a few because I've always wanted to be a Boy Scout.
Yes.
And in my country, the Dominican Republic, we don't have Boy Scouts.
Right.
So after I thought of it, I was like, okay, maybe I'll get a few more Boy Scout things.
Right.
And that's how the jacket started. And I even left the little tag. You can see it right there with the price and everything because it was it's whatever I find, I put it on.
What was the allure of Boy Scouts for you as a child? Was it the fashion? Was that a big aspect of it?
Of course it was. As sad as it sounds, or as interesting as it sounds, yes it was.
Right. So did you know any Boy Scouts growing up, or you just saw pictures in the fashion and the patches?
I just on TV.
Yeah.
And
So it sounds like
movies.
this jacket is a manifestation of your childhood fashion dreams. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and also talking about it, it was also a commentary on how kids get crazy toys. Why do we give kids guns and stuff? And that's why you see guns and the army
a whole
little
message to
yes. And the how do you call the green little soldiers?
I don't even know what you call them. But it's 3D. That's my favorite part of it, actually, that you put little, the guys in Toy Story, the little army soldiers.
Yes.
It looks like they're living in different scenes on your. It's so cool. I swear to God, I've never seen a jacket like this.
Well, thank you. And it was actually long, almost to my legs, and I was it's calling too much attention to that, so that's why I cropped it.
Okay, I love it. This is amazing. I'm so happy you wore this today. This is fantastic. Okay, so let's get into your life though. You said you're from Dominican Republic.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Born, raised, and all of it. I moved to New York 3 years ago.
3 years ago. So you lived in Dominican Republic for the first 20 plus years of your life?
Yeah, 27 years of my life.
Oh my God. And so what was the spur? What was the move to New York? What caused it?
I've always wanted to live in New York.
Yeah.
It was my dream, my biggest dream since I was probably 2 years old.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity came.
Okay.
And I was okay, let's do it. Even though it was in COVID times.
Yeah.
So it was a crazy move, but if you don't take the step, when is it gonna happen?
Right. Did you ever take big steps growing up, before that move to New York, or was that a big, significant step in doing all of that?
I think I've always taken big steps.
Okay.
For example, I'm from a very small town in the Dominican Republic called Cotuí.
Okay.
And there's not much to do. And I remember when I told my parents that I was going to study fashion design, it was you're studying architecture. So I even applied for architecture. I got into school.
Yeah.
And I remember the when I was supposed to go to school the first day, my parents were taking the car out, and I was like, no, I'm studying fashion. And they were like, get in the fucking car, let's go. We paid for like the first semester. I was like, no, I'm not going. So
oh my God.
I lost a year that because when I applied for my fashion school, it was like submissions were closed and all of that. So I lost a year. Then I moved to Casa de Campo, where I studied fashion in Altos de Chabón.
Wow.
And after that, moved to Santo Domingo, where I was working in interior design for 6 years.
So that sounds like a huge moment. Was that like the first moment you really defied your parents, like in that regard, like been like, no, like I'm doing me?
Yes, absolutely. And I remember that when I was going for my second semester, my dad was like, there's no money, you're not going back. And I was like, there's never gonna be money. I am going back. And then Mami Tina, who's my fairy godmother, sponsored me, and that's how I was able to finish fashion school.
Wow, that's crazy. So Mami Tina was like the person growing up that really saw your vision the whole time, or supported you like that? You
want to know what's funny? I met Mami Tina because of Eliane, who's her daughter. Like I didn't know Mami Tina until I went to fashion school.
Oh wow!
So
no way.
She was like literally like God sent.
When you said Mami Tina, I thought she was like definitely a part of your family or something.
No. Now she is, but I met her like through like a friend in school.
Oh my God.
Yep.
So tell me about growing up in the Dominican Republic. Like what was, now that you look back on it, like what was that experience like? I don't know. Maybe that's a pretty vague question.
No,
right?
It's not. To me, like I always wanted like to live like somewhere else. I know that's like sort of like crappy to say. But I always wanted more. And actually now that I'm here, I could not be more grateful of where I grew up, how I grew up, because that's what made me who I am. And if I would have grown like somewhere else, like I don't know if I would be who I am today. Which I sort of really like now. Like I love like what I am and who I am.
Yeah, absolutely. Acceptance is so important, and I think this city is full of, at least the people that like thrive in this city come to like acceptance of who they are, where they are, and that's why everyone feels like they're living their own movie when you walk around, you know what I mean? Everyone is just like in their own like hero arc story, you know?
Absolutely. And that's what I love about this city. Like you can be you, and even if you don't like who you're being, you can try another version of you and like live it, and if it doesn't work, keep trying.
And so it definitely sounds like you've lived a few versions of yourself. There was an architecture, Boy Scout, listening to your parents, but then you made this move where you wanted to study fashion, and now you're acting, right?
Yes.
It's been a new, like, I don't know, it feels like everything has come together in this one world of acting for you, at least in your passion about it.
Yes, I think it like encaptures everything I love. It like there's like so much beauty in it, like costume, like the relationship with a space that a character has. And when I came to like thinking that I wanted to be an actor, it was like, let's give it a shot. Like we are like, I am in New York. Like this is the place to do it. And actually, like I've done, I mean, I did a lot of background, which at the time it was incredible. But then I was like, you know what? Like I want to take this to the next level, and I started school.
When I first met you, that was honestly, hearing your enthusiasm about being on these shows and just being an extra on these shows, I want to hear about that again, because that was, I loved it. When you showed me the pictures, okay, so you started just by randomly becoming an extra on whatever you could, right? Like where were you finding these gigs?
There are a few apps, casting networks, Grant Wilfrey, casting, Rum and Candle, and like I don't even know how I got to them. Probably like when I get crazy, I start Googling things.
Yeah.
And I found them and I was like, oh my God, I can be in And Just Like That.
Yeah.
And then And Just Like That, I applied to them and I like got like background parts.
Yeah.
Which to me, like I've always loved Sex and the City.
Yeah.
And like to be part of it, it was just like, wait, am I dreaming? Like what is going on?
So was that the first set you got on, was Sex and the City?
No, it was actually the very first one was Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah. I remember you talking about Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Which, to the day, I have not watched it yet.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I have to.
Yeah.
After that, I filmed The Gilded Age.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
I went to Troy, Albany for the first time for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And like it was like time traveling. Like how those people like transformed the whole town. It was just insane.
Yeah.
A dream.
And see, your enthusiasm for like Troy, Albany, you know what I mean? Like New Yorkers just don't, or people that grew up in the city or America, they just don't have that. And it's just refreshing to hear that sometimes, you know?
I mean, like I'm just, to me, doing this, it's like even though I thought of it, like to me, it was never possible. So just by doing it, it's just like mesmerizing. Like whatever happens, it's just like, oh, this is wonderful.
So what are you thinking when you're an extra? This is a question I really like have for a lot of people that do gigs like that, because are you in a character or are you just like outside yourself, like, oh my God, this is being shot right now, just look nice, just keep smiling? Like what is your thought process when you're in those moments?
Actually, when I was filming a scene for And Just Like That, we were sitting at a restaurant, and I remember one of the crew girls was like, I want to put you in it. So she sat me at a table right next to like all the girls, and I was like trying to do the most because I wanted to like notice me, please notice me. And she came to me and whispered in my ears, you're doing too much. And I was like, well, fuck.
Wait, what were you doing? You were just like at a cafe or something?
Exactly. Yeah. We were like supposed to be like pantomiming, because when you're doing background, you're not really talking. Yeah. So I was just like, ha 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 ha. And she was like, you're doing too much. And I was like, shit, I'm calling like the wrong attention. Yeah. So it's really interesting because I don't really think of a character. I just try to be like myself. Yeah. Because when you're with friends, you're not pretending to be like someone else. And like me at a table with like the other actor was like, we're just vibing. We're friends and we're at a cafe doing something we both love. Right.
Right. And I think the reason people find it mundane or just like not as much fun to be on those sets and have those experiences is because it's a whole day affair, right? It's not just like getting there, shooting, like you're committing to something by going to these things. Yeah.
Nick, I remember we filmed, actually that was a really cool thing to do. I'm gonna be for 1 second, if they don't cut it, in the new movie The Joker. Oh. Like I was next to Lady Gaga.
The Joker 2?
Yes.
Oh, I heard about this. Wait, you said you were like in like one of the front rows, right?
Yes.
Oh like, my God.
Like I was like literally next to Lady Gaga when she was going like the stairs of the, how do you call it? City Hall? Whatever.
Okay. That. Yeah.
And we got there at 4 a.m.
Wow.
And we were filming in the summer, like in the sun, until 9 p.m. or something like that.
Oh my God.
And we were doing the same thing the next day.
4 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Insane.
Oh my God.
Insane.
And so how do you keep your energy for every take with that? That's actually impressive for the actors. That really makes me have like a different level of respect when you really have to get in it, like the Joker, to get into a character like that from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. every single day.
Acting is hard.
Yeah, like, acting is really hard. I don't think about that.
When I started, I was like, oh, this is wonderful. People are going to love me. But like, there's a lot of work. Yeah. Like emotional work and like physical work that like you don't see, but that it's there.
Right. So, yeah. We were just talking earlier, when you first got into acting, you were just thinking it was just going to be your moment of stardom. You were doing it sort of for attention. What are some of the real lessons you've learned about what acting really involves and how it's like transformed your perspective of it?
Yes. When I started, I was like, oh my God, I want to be a star.
Yeah.
Yes, this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got into it, I realized that acting is a beautiful career that will transform whoever chooses to do it.
Yeah.
Not only like physically, but emotionally, mentally. And I've grown so much. I learned to respect people and the choices they do of living. Like,
was there a character you ever got in that really like helped you like see like, oh my God, like there are other people living these crazy lives that I don't even think about?
Since I have only done like background, I haven't done like really like characters.
Okay.
But I have gotten into like time period projects that like get me into a way of thinking of how people were living back then. And it's just like incredible.
Yeah. Life was really different back then.
Oh my God, it was.
It's really weird in this age of communication. We were just talking about it. Everyone is so interconnected, and the world, things feel weird. Things feel weird everywhere. But that's really cool. Okay, so you've lived in New York for 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah. What are your favorite parts of the city? What have you enjoyed the most doing out here?
Oh wow.
Yeah. What is your favorite like daily appreciation you have? Is it just walking around? Is it the people you meet? Is it the culture?
I think the culture, and also when I started acting, I've learned of like people watching. So I'll just like go out and as we are right now, like just see it and see how people behave, what people do. Because like I might need like those little things for like a future project.
That is the best thing to do in New York City is people watch, because there's a little scene going on everywhere you look. I remember, I don't know if it was the other day, I was just sitting outside, I just finished my shift, and I see just these two guys throwing a baseball, but they're like throwing it extremely hard at each other in a park full of little kids.
Oh my God.
Right, it's like a huge softball. They're pegging it at each other. And I started analyzing every detail about these guys, what they were wearing, who they were, why they were throwing a ball so aggressively in a park of little kids, like why they thought this was necessary, who they were trying to impress, you know?
And that's the thing, we're sort of always doing something for like to get something out of it.
Yes.
So it's really interesting to see like what people do.
Yeah.
And there's always like something interesting happening with people around the city.
That's a good point. We are always doing something to evoke some reaction.
Yes.
Yeah. Whether we consciously are doing it or not.
Yep.
You know? Like, I don't know. Everyone has something to prove.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Every day. And it bothers me when people don't admit it. A lot of times. What you know what I mean?
Yes.
When you know they're doing something for some reason, but they won't like have the balls to
like,
say it.
Come clean. Like yes, that's why I'm doing it.
Yes, exactly.
And like what people do like in daily life, like how people behave in their daily life.
Yeah.
It's like super interesting because as I always say, how you do like one thing, you do everything. Like so seeing people's behaviors is like, oh, I wonder how he brushes his teeth. Like it's just like interesting.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. You think about how people brush their teeth. What are the different ways people can brush their teeth? I want to know.
Well, I brush my teeth. Like I don't brush my teeth in the bathroom. Like I walk around the house like brushing my teeth.
Yes.
So I like think of how people like. Will they sit in the couch? Will they like?
Right.
There's people that brush their teeth in the shower. Like I don't know.
There are a lot of different ways to brush your teeth. That's right. And some people, like for me, honestly, pretty much my whole life, I've fucked up my toothbrushes when I brush my teeth. Like,
Same.
My toothbrushes don't last like over like I want to say like 3 weeks before they're like destroyed, right?
I was going to say 2 weeks.
Right. Literally. I don't know what it is. And I think it's because some people like brush like very delicately, like up and down. I've never known why. Like every time I brush my teeth, I try and like get straight over the top of it all the time, but they just always end up fucked up. Like, I don't know how people, those people, you see their toothbrushes and you're like, how
do they keep it?
Yeah, you're a psychopath.
Yes.
How do you keep it so clean?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, since I started acting, like, I have taken a different approach in life. For example, like acting have showed me the beauty of simplicity. Like, you brushing your teeth the hardest is not gonna mean that they're gonna be the cleanest. So it's just like focusing your energy in the things that truly matter.
No, and how every little thing you do in life, like you said, is connected to some greater purpose, is connected to some greater energy. Every little gesture you're making, every little scene you're acting out, and every simple, ordinary things is drawn from somewhere deeper.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. And it like reflects who we are. And like in some sort of way, like it shows like how we grow up, like the things we carry with us from our childhood and like everything.
Yeah. Literally. Wait, I just want to check really quickly. I always have this fear that like I didn't press record or something's. I just want to check really quickly.
That
I
will
see
be
this
interesting.
is recording.
I hope we're recording,
Yes,
Nick.
it's recording.
Thank God.
Oh my God, right? Because that was good. We just got to a really good point right there. I love that. Right? How like brushing teeth gets like. No, but yes, we are recording, by the way. I just had to check.
Thank God. No, Jesus.
Yulio, you have no idea how many times like I've recorded something for like 40, 50 minutes. Sometimes even an hour long.
Oh my God.
And I just forgot to press record. It's the simplest step, but I make that error so many times. Maybe that's something about my like subconscious. I'm just racing with thoughts. You know what I mean? And I just forget to do like the most ordinary step in recording something, which is pressing the button. Yeah.
That would have been sad.
Yeah, right?
Like, here we were talking to nobody.
Right.
I mean, to each other. Like
to each other, we would still have the audio. We would still have the audio. That's, oh my God. I had the best podcast one time where I was talking to my friend, and she told me this whole story about how she dated this pimp. And it was the best story ever. She got trapped in Mexico with him. I was enthralled. Like, I finished that podcast and I was like, this was the best episode I've ever recorded in my life. And then I checked my camera. I was like, oh my God, I didn't press record right now. Yeah, it was the worst. But we're good now. We're good now. Yeah. I love that point we just got to, like how every simple little act is drawn from somewhere deeper. I don't know. What's another simple thing you do every day that you think is drawn from a deeper place of who you are, like your whole journey from the Dominican Republic to here? Really think about it. Think about like a simple thing in your day, a simple moment in your day.
I would think like being barefoot like at home, because I know like some people, like as soon as they get out of bed, like they put like sandals, slippers, whatever on.
Right.
Like when I was growing up, like I grew up barefoot in our little backyard. Like foot, like feet dirty.
Wow,
like really close and connected to nature. So I will say that.
No, I love that example you gave, because honestly, the other day I was at work, right? I'm working at this new office, and this girl thought it was disgusting, right? She's wearing like shoes, and she thought it was disgusting for 1 second to put her foot on the floor of the office.
Oh my God.
She was freaking out about it. She made a big deal about it. And I literally had this thought. I was like, what? Do you know what people used to do with their feet, where they would put that shit? Like, socks didn't exist at one point in time. Like, you're gonna be fine.
Yes.
Don't worry. People that freak out about being barefoot anywhere for a second, that's a weird perspective in my eyes. Like, you're freaking out about way more than just your feet.
Yes, thank you. And also, like, if we think about, like, kids go, like, barefoot.
Yeah.
Like, literally wherever they can. If their parents don't tell them, put your shoes on.
Yeah.
And, like, to me, being barefoot, like, for a little bit, it's, like, sort of, like free. Like, there's freedom in being barefoot.
Feels so fucking good.
So good.
I
like,
fucking
so
love
fucking
that.
good.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
No, there's nothing like wind hitting your feet. You're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or feeling like the cold, like little stones, like between your feet. It's just incredible.
Your feet are the most sensitive
Yes.
part of your fucking body. Now that I think about it,
Yes,
like your feet get so ticklish so easily. I love foot massages. That's something
Yes.
I've really like taken myself to get a freaking foot massage more. Like, because I now I'm serving at this restaurant still. I do it every weekend, and my feet, like, I've never had this thought, like, go take care of your fucking feet, man.
Yes.
Get a foot massage, get a pedicure. Like, that shit is disgusting down there. And I can't even just, like, I'm really visualizing that feeling right now. It's the best feeling
good.
ever. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And also, like, they hold our whole body, and like
Yes.
through them,
Yes.
we like get deep like connection with the universe.
Yes. Yeah.
And as you
it's
were-
really that is the transfer. That's the first transfer of energy from the ground to your being.
Yes.
To everything is your feet.
Absolutely.
The nerves that are down there. That's not a coincidence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, as you were saying, since I started acting, I also started like serving, and I'm in my feet for 16 hours straight, like insane. And when I get home, like it's just like releasing my feet from like my working shoes after 16 hours. It's just like, so good.
Seriously. Wait, so you're serving now?
Yes.
What has that been like? I need to hear about this.
When I started acting,
Yeah.
I was like, I need a job that allows me to
Yeah.
do this, because
Yeah.
I was like getting like overnight requests to be on like a background thing.
Yeah.
And what I was doing, like, I always feel sad about asking like, sorry, I have to leave at 2.
Yeah.
So when I started, I was like, I need something that I don't feel bad if
Yeah.
I say I'm not working tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the company I work for, it's really flexible. They
Yeah.
are incredible.
Yeah.
And if I don't want to work, I just like decline the offer.
Wow. Everyone's looking for a job like that in the city. That's so nice. Is it remote or you have to go into the office for it?
Office? No.
Yeah.
I mean, we basically, what we do most is corporate.
Yeah.
So I work like at a lot of banks,
Yeah.
like serving, like setting up their like meeting rooms, coffee, like breakfast.
Yeah.
When there's like, oh my God, how do you call that? Conferences, like the whole day. We do like breakfast, lunch, PM break.
Oh,
like
okay.
sometimes.
So it's
like-
really setting up. Oh,
Yes.
it was catering. That's what you were talking
Catering,
about.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's setting up a whole venue for people. Do you have like a creative input on that, on how that takes place?
Actually, sometimes I do like decorate like the buffet table, like at some places, which I love. And
I've never done that. I've never decorated like a charcuterie board.
Ooh, I
or
love
a
doing that.
buffet. I haven't like expanded that level of my creativity, because it's a level of creativity when you're making
Yes.
these things. You know what I mean? It's a
Yes.
gesture. It's like there's a lot of thought that goes into it. What are the factors you think about when you're setting up a buffet or a charcuterie board or anything?
I mean, you want it definitely to be inviting and not too fancy, because when you do like, that's something I've noticed. Like when a cheese board is like too good, like
Yeah.
people feel afraid of touching it, and it
Wow.
always
I
ends
like
up
that.
like
Yeah.
like untouched.
Yeah.
And it's just like to make it like there's something cool about being a little messy. Well, no, not messy with food, no.
No.
But it's just like more inviting when
Yes.
things are like more organic. I don't even know how to.
No, it makes it look more appetizing when it's less like complete. It's like when you see a fucking amazing design cake and there's a whole design
Yes.
on top. It's like, I don't want to cut
Exactly.
into this.
I don't wanna
This
touch
is
it.
art right now. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So how do you make it look less pretty and more appetizing? What are the things you do?
It's just like making it look like if someone has already like touched it. Like
Okay.
there's a whole cheese. I'm gonna just like cut a little bit
Yeah.
and like make it look like okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to be afraid.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
for me to have it.
Because those are the little cues we take as
Yes.
people, right? Like,
Yes.
oh, this is for us to eat right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, do you set up more than the buffet? Do you set up the whole place, like little chairs here? Because there's a lot of things I think about now that I work at this restaurant. Like, if a door is open here, if a chair is placed right here, if the flowers are turned this way, if candles are right here, little thoughts that go into everything that make that up. I don't know. Do you find yourself making these creative decisions a lot of times?
Sometimes, since we are like basically just a staff for service, we don't have like creative choices.
Yeah.
But when we do, like, I'm like very happy about it.
Yeah.
But it's like little things. Like, for example, in catering, like when there's a fingerprint in a fork, it's like, oh my God.
It's a huge detail.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And to me, that was nothing until I started.
Yeah.
Those
first like 25 minutes, you
Yes.
know what I mean?
I think it happened like not long ago.
Right. It couldn't have happened that long ago because now
No.
we're at. It happened within the last 15 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
10.
Maybe 10.
Yeah.
Maybe 10. So we don't know what you guys just missed out on right there.
We don't know. But we have the sound.
We have the sound. Exactly. We have the
Yep.
sound. We'll put any sound in if you need to hear it. But
I
my
mean-
camera just stopped recording for a second.
If it was good, we'll keep
Yeah.
the sound.
Right. Exactly. What you guys will see will be just the best parts of what we've said right now. Okay, but last thing, we were just talking about the Dominican Republic right here and cacao beans. I somehow I forgot what cacao beans were, right? That just to review it for you guys. I didn't even know what they were, but you used to have to flip them. What does that even mean? I don't even know what flipping cacao beans are in the Dominican Republic.
You know, like what chocolate is made out.
Yes.
So you have to like dry them
Okay.
before they go to like the whole process.
Okay.
So I used to like flip it.
Wow.
Like,
Is the food and chocolate better in the Dominican Republic because you guys have to go through the whole process of making it? You don't buy it from these city stores? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, tell me about dishes, Dominican Republic dishes.
my father was a rice farmer, so I was like always like in the rice
really?
farm.
Yeah.
Well, not always. As you can imagine, I was not like
Super into rice.
yes or into farming.
Yeah.
But whenever I could, I used to like visit.
Yeah.
And like knowing that from where the rice I was eating was coming and how it was like produced,
Yeah.
it was like it gave me like a deeper like
relationship with
and
your
connection
food. Yeah.
with what I was eating.
Yeah, we don't have any of that in the U.S. We just go to a supermarket and we just buy shit. We don't know where it was made, what was put in it, and we don't even think twice. It's just whatever label we see, you know? Whatever label looks most appetizing. That's been my whole life of thinking about it. Like, what logo do I like the best right now? That's literally how I determine what I eat.
Exactly,
which
and
is
like choosing
fucked up.
choosing to believe that what we're being told that is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, I want to hear more about your parents. So your dad was a rice farmer?
Yes, my
Holy
dad was
shit.
a rice farmer, and basically, like the commitment I have for what I do,
Yeah.
I learned from him. Like
Yeah.
he woke up every day, 4 a.m., go
Yeah.
to his farm,
Yeah.
like and just do that. Like
Wow.
I learned to enjoy a passion by him. Like he loved.
He loved
Rice farming.
rice. I want to try his rice. What is the difference between like homemade rice that's just like farmed like that and the rice, you know, I've eaten my whole life and the rice I eat here?
It's like when you eat it, it just makes you feel happy. I don't know. Yeah,
It just makes you feel happy.
Yeah.
It's made with love.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. I think that's so cool. I think part of the world, like when we were talking about just like art and simplicity and art and little things, like everyone feels like they have to be this amazing thing nowadays. And I think it's such a shame that people don't want to be rice farmers or people just don't like have a passion about fucking rice anymore because everyone just needs to be a superstar in whatever they're doing, you know?
It's really interesting that we talk about this. When my dad passed away 2 years ago, I was like telling my brother because he is now taking over, like he has the rice farm.
Oh, okay.
I was like, Lolo, let's just sell that.
Yeah.
But now, like the fact that he wants to keep doing it,
Yeah.
it's just like so beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yeah, I think about that with wine too when I hear that producers have been around. It's like a family thing that have been around for like 200 years or something. It's just that passion that's been passed down for, rice. It's beautiful because it was someone's vision at one point, and it was their kids like feeling their vision, you know? I feel like whenever someone today says they want to take over their parents' business or something, the immediate reaction is just like, it's just like for security reasons, you know what I mean? You just want to just like have it just so you have a job or something, and you want to take like an easy route because your parents do this, you know? It's not seen as like, I just really want to carry on this passion. We don't think about the beauty in that anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What was your reaction when your brother said he wanted to take over your dad's business?
I mean, to me, it was like I love my siblings, but to that, it was like, oh wow, I don't only love you, I respect you, because he's, apart from taking care of the farm, he's a doctor. So he's like,
what?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And so he's like doing things, and I'm like, oh my God.
What was it like? What were you guys like growing up? What was your bond between you two?
We are like a year apart, and he's super smart.
Right.
Like,
he's just this like.
He was supposed to be like a year behind me in school.
Yeah.
And he was so smart that he was at the end of, like, we were together in the same class.
Yeah.
And we used to play soccer together like every day.
Okay.
We were part of the town like team.
Yeah.
Like we used to go around in the country like playing.
Yeah.
So yes, like we've been like very close. Because
and what was your dynamic? Oh, you guys were really close?
Yes.
Because you just used to do a
things
lot
together.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That's cool, man. But it sounds like you guys are very different people in terms of your talents.
Absolutely.
And you think that helped strengthen your bond? You guys kind of just offered each other different things at every moment? Yeah. Yeah.
I'll say so, yes.
Right. You need people in life that are different than you, you know? You can't just surround yourself with a bunch of yous, you know, and everyone that's like you. You don't grow that way.
There's no growth in that.
Yeah.
We grow from difference.
What do you think you learned from your brother? What do you think his impact on who you are is? Maybe that's a deep question, but
I will say his commitment to what he wants to do, because even taking over the farm, it was like, oh no, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it despite whatever any of you guys
That's crazy.
think.
How does he manage all that? Because a doctor is a 24/7 job. It is. Yeah.
I have no idea how he does it.
Yeah. I really think about how doctors are just the heroes of the world still. Like, they deserve everything and more. Because have you ever been to like an emergency room in New York? Have you ever had to go?
I don't think so.
One time recently, I'm so embarrassed of this story. So I was playing basketball, right? And so in basketball, you can like jam your fingers, right? And it happens often when the ball hits your finger like dead on, and then so pretty much I jam my pinky like 4 or 5 times, right? And the pinky's like kind of weak, right? So then I jam it this last time. I'm going for a rebound and jam the ball in my pinky, and then I see it and it's like a different shape, my pinky. I could tell it like dislocated.
No.
And I'm like, oh my God. And part of me wanted to just be like, just pull it back in. Or like just do something, like you can fix it, don't worry, like it's just your pinky, relax. But then eventually we were like, you know what, we don't want to fuck your pinky up, right? I was with my friends, right? Go to an emergency room, see what it's like. And so then I go to this emergency room in Park Slope, and it's just people like dying all over. And everyone's in like critical care, and I'm walking in, like I have to wait like 3 hours just to get in that room. First off, they do an x-ray on my fucking pinky, but I see everyone in like critical care around me, and I was just baffled by this scene. I was like, wow, this is just a Monday night for these people, you know? Like, I was really taking that in, but I also felt like so embarrassed that I was there
for your pinky,
for my fucking pinky. And it was the most amazing, it was the most hilarious thing that, like, after like 4 or 5 hours of waiting, this doctor just calls me over, and then it's just 1 second, he just,
bam,
yeah, and it's like,
home.
all right, so yeah, maybe here's like a case for your pinky if you need it or something, or like a little cast they gave me, but like, I just felt like such a loser that day. I spent like 5 hours of my time, yeah, but it's crazy. The stress and pressure of their lives is like incomparable to anything, you know? The stakes that they face on a daily basis.
It is.
So shout out to your brother. Oh my God!
Shout
how
out
he does
to you,
that?
Lolo.
And rice production. What the? Because I bet that involves a 24/7 monitoring and effort as well. Wow.
And like
that's
rice,
amazing.
Like rice, it's like a very like complicated thing to grow. Like it's very like temperamental. Like if it rains, like everything will fall. Like water from the top. Like, rice doesn't like. Do not like rain.
Why? Why does it not like rain? Like, it has to be watered with.
Like water from the ground.
Yeah. Oh.
Because like it's very fragile. Like it will fall.
Okay.
And then when you have to cut it, like rice needs to be straight to be like cut it by the machine.
Wait. So it's the like pressure of the water and where it's coming from. It's not the water itself.
Exactly. It's not the water itself.
Oh, so it just has to delicately be put. So what happens when there's like a rainstorm? Like everything is fucked.
Like the rice falls and you cannot. You don't have rice.
And you just have to start over with it.
Well, you have to for you to have rice, you have to wait like 4 months.
Wow.
Yes.
And so one rainstorm can ruin like if it's like 3 months.
Absolutely.
Fuck, man.
Absolutely.
How does your brother do this and be a doctor at the same time? That seems so stressful.
It's so like I remember growing up, like whenever there was like a hurricane or something, like there was my dad like pulling his hair out.
Wow.
Well, never. He was bald, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. That's crazy. That's insane, actually. And so what did your mom do?
She went to she's a lawyer.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
Lawyer. Lawyer is how you say lawyer. Is that what they called it in the Dominican Republic too? Is it the same word?
Well, it's in Spanish.
Right. Why'd you think you were not saying it right?
I thought like there's a name for the career.
Oh, law? Or?
Yes, she studied law.
Okay.
She didn't really like work as a lawyer, but she went to law school and she like is a lawyer.
Yeah. So she just knows every single rule by the book. Yeah,
exactly.
Would she just bring that up to you a lot of times? Did you ever get in trouble?
Oh my God.
Up? Yeah.
Like every day.
Yeah. What would you get in trouble for?
Well, I was a terrible student.
Yeah.
Like I was always like I was with my brother who was really smart in the same classroom, and he was like sitting in the front row, like paying attention to everything. And there I was gossiping with the girls in the back, going to the bathroom, just like with the girl, just to like talk. Shit.
Yeah. What was the gossip about at school? What were you guys chatting about all the time?
Like they were talking about like guys.
Yeah.
And like back there, like how they were like going out with guys, and like how they escaped their home to spend the night with their boyfriends.
Yeah.
So it was like really interesting, like to like talk about things that maybe I wanted to do, but I couldn't or never did.
Right.
So yeah.
And you were kind of living vicariously through their stories a bit.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like enjoying what I wanted to do through their lives.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's interesting. I don't know. How old were you when you were having these conversations? Like 11, 12?
Like 12, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's when you started to like kind of realize maybe like, shit.
Yeah.
That's funny. When did you come out?
I never like came out. Like I never sat my parents and tell them, Mom, Dad, I'm gay.
You're right.
I just lived my life.
And everyone just realized
Can you just tell?
Yeah. Some things don't need to be said.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's weird. I always think I should have had like a birds and the bees conversation with my mom. But honestly, it would just have been really awkward. Like,
yes.
I know exactly how it would have gone. I know exactly what it would have been, you know? And I never needed that moment. You know what I mean? Sometimes you never need that moment of confrontation, you know? And sometimes you really need it. But I think a lot of times some things are better left unsaid, you know?
Yes, that's how I feel. And that's why I never, like, came out. Because, like, again, come on. Can you just tell?
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah. And so what's it been like being in the city? Because this is, I feel like, the perfect place to be, no?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Like, again, you can just be.
Yeah.
And like people have seen pretty much everything here. So you could go out however you want.
Yeah.
Like do whatever you want and you won't be like judged.
Yeah.
Or maybe you will, but you wouldn't
Who
even
gives a
care.
fuck?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you learn the New York way while by living in New York.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Everything's gonna get crazy though. I hope there's just more people that move to the city that, you know, are comfortable in their own skin and are fun to be around, you know? I feel like there's more and more people I see every day that are just so bland around here too.
Yeah.
You ever just come across those people that just don't even go out and enjoy this place? They're just there clogging up space, you know? And a lot of people are just miserable out here. I hate to talk down on New York because there's so much beauty in it and I love it so much, but
There is.
I don't know. There's all these apartments opening up and everyone coming to trendy Brooklyn, and some people just suck. You know that are coming. I really think so. Some people just fucking suck.
Yeah,
And it's bothering me.
but we need everything
We
in
need
the world.
everything. Yeah, we need everything to have joy and to have
Yes.
beauty. I agree. Good and bad. Boring or fun.
Yeah,
We need it all.
we need it all.
The simplicity in life. That's the theme of this one. The simplicity,
Yeah.
the beauty and simplicity.
The beauty of simplicity.
I love it.
Yeah, that's the name of this
Yes.
episode.
Yeah. Okay, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do it again. This was
We
really
should.
fun. Yeah, I loved
Loved it.
All right, awesome.
Thank you, Nick.
Peace.